We have 8 panel members on the dais, and it will be a very brief, very brief introduction of theirs, so that you are able to connect with the panel members here. We have Dr. Urvashi Makkar. She is the Director General of Bajaj Institute of Management and Research in Greater Noida. She has been in teaching for 22 years, and she has done her PhD from HRM, IIM Calcutta, and she is an MBA and PGDCM as her academic qualification. Let's welcome her to the
Thank you very much, and I'm sure the tone has been set very well of the discussion, and two speakers preferred not to talk about higher education because they believed on the left side, of course, I'm on the left side, we'll talk about that. So definitely I'm here to talk about higher education system. So since last 22 years, being associated with this system has given you certain insights. And the insights have been startling too, and when we talk about the current scenario with respect to the management education per se, because I have been associated specifically with the management education, the things are not going into the right direction, of course, as Dr. Das has highlighted very rightly and subtly, of course, about the overall management education scenario in our country. Before we talk about the higher education, let me very quickly touch about the three major elements of the education, which somewhere have been lost in the process of, you can say, marketing of the management education in our country. The first and foremost element of education, whether that's primary, secondary or higher education, is surely the knowledge acquisition. And once the knowledge acquisition is there, the next very important element of education is the creation of the innovation, which definitely can help into the sustainability, can facilitate the societies to survive and the countries to prosper. And the third very important element, and of course which cannot be ignored under any circumstances, is after creation of innovation is the skill enhancement, inculcation of the skills. So obviously the knowledge acquired has to lead to the creation of innovation. Subsequently, it must lead to the skill enhancement of the person. Here in question is the student. But ironically in our country, whatever is the level of education we are talking about, our focus is only on the knowledge acquisition. We are not at all talking about the innovation. And of course, there might be few institutions which might be talking about innovation, but not the kind of institutions I belong to. And I'm very clear about that, that we are catering to an entirely very different segment of the students. And somewhere it is ironical to see that at the time of admission, when we ask the students that why do you want to do PGDM program, their very simple, crisp answer is, we want to get a good job. So such a narrow perspective about the management education we are living with in our country, where a degree is knowledge acquisition, which must lead to one first job in the hand, and that's the sustainability according to them. So the question over here is, are we really getting the definition of sustainability for the higher education in our country right? That's a very big question. And we have to define the sustainability. Are we really talking about the sustainability in an era which is having the VUCA environment, the volatility is so high, uncertainty, ambiguity, and of course, lots of, you can say, issues in terms of the constructive disruption cycles. They are coming up in terms of the technological disruptions and the innovation. And these disruptive cycles, spans are becoming shorter and shorter with the passage of time. Within 1 month, you will find that one skill which you have earned has become obsolete. Are we really creating the fraternity of the students who are able to face this biggest challenge of the society, of the country and of the globe? So of course, because of the time lacking, I might not be able to give the three major areas which I wanted to discuss over here about the issues involved in the sustainability of higher education. But I'll talk about very quickly in the last 30 seconds the most important area for creating sustainability, that is the curriculum upgradation on regular basis. And of course, unlearning of the knowledge acquired has to be considered equally important in the curricula, so that the relearning of the new skills, relearning of the new innovation practices can be there in the campuses. And obviously we have to have the focus on the curricula which are having the optimization of two very important components. On one side, the component of ethnocentricity, in which we are taking care of the areas which are relevant to the country to which the student belongs to. And on other side, the components of the polycentricity, so that the student can face the global challenges. So there has to be very strong optimization in the curricula which we are developing of the components of ethnocentric areas of the domestic country and of course the global changes which are coming up. And today we talk about the smart cities. Today we are talking about the examples of the Finland, in which the shared resources are of such level that by 2020 they have decided that they will wipe out the requirement of the private vehicles at all. And they are focusing on the concept of MOS, that is the mobility on service, which means that the public transportation system is going to be so strong in the country that no one would be needing the private vehicles. So obviously, if these are the scenarios going to be created, we have to create the management graduates who can face these challenges tomorrow once they'll be out in the market. So I'll put the full stop to my thoughts here and would like to have the...
Such a wonderful perspective to sustainability, and that our discussion here, and a very good comment and observation and question came from the audience. So thank you audience very much.